Over $800 million has left BUSD. Where is that money going and why is it leaving this stablecoin? If you guys have been living under a rock the past 2 days, welcome to crypto and welcome to the warpath of the SEC. We're going to talk about crypto regulations. Should you have any faith in crypto regulations, especially if you're a US citizen? Also, where is that money going to, and what does this mean for the development of crypto in this next year, 2 years, and maybe forever? If you guys are enjoying these updates, I appreciate it if you hit the like button and hit subscribe. We put out videos every single day doing our best to keep you updated on everything that's happening in this cryptocurrency space, the good, the bad, and maybe like today, sometimes the ugly. If you want to know even more what we're doing with our cryptocurrencies and why, you have to check out the CT Club. A link for that is down below in the video description. So right off the bat, let's start off with some numbers. BUSD has been targeted by the SEC for violating securities laws. They think that a stable coin is a security. And what we're learning is basically the SEC can label anything it wants as a security. And furthermore, they're suing Paxos, which is historically since 2012. This company has been around much longer than many of you have even invested in cryptocurrencies. And since 2012, Paxos has tried its best to be regulatory compliant. Turns out that's just not enough. And the SEC is trying to sue them for violating securities laws. Basically, don't you know, when you buy a stablecoin, aren't you expecting some kind of a profit? It was ridiculous. So since that announcement, they've basically, Paxos will not be able to issue any more new BUSD. And in fact, they haven't issued any new BUSD since February 4th, which was at that time they issued, I think, like $209 million worth of new BUSD. And since this announcement from the SEC, since this new lawsuit, $831 million has left BUSD. Binance announced they will not be using BUSD as their stablecoin for trading. And a lot of this liquidity, a lot of this money, the people, I'm sure you're one of them, if you're holding any value in BUSD, you got to be thinking, okay, this one's definitely tanking because stablecoins run on faith most of the time, if nothing else. Where can I go if not BUSD? For a lot of people, their next best option is USDC, run by Circle, which is another company that the SEC is targeting and possibly going to be having another Wells notice, which a Wells notice is basically when you've been investigated, you are served a Wells notice when they tell you, oh, you know what, we found something. There's a discrepancy. Not so much, it doesn't say so much to the level or extent of what that discrepancy is, but basically we've investigated and we found something that we can bring charges against you for. And so a lot of rumors are now saying that Circle will be next. So everyone who's moving your coins from BUSD to Circle, you guys don't hold your breath. Here's the thing. Paxos, Circle, Kraken are all really big, really successful, really regulatory compliant cryptocurrency companies that have tried their best to play by the rules. And this is the crux of this whole video. And what I'm really getting at is that for anyone who is hoping for regulation to come in and save the day, regulation at this point is a figment of your imagination, my friend. Because ultimately what you're doing is you are asking for permission from the very thing that your cryptocurrency was designed and created to disrupt. So a lot of a conflict of interest there. And I think a lot of people have either never been introduced or have quite frankly lost touch with why cryptocurrencies were created in the first place. They were created to make the traditional financial system, central banks, and the banking industry, irrelevant. And to ask for permission from entities like the SEC or from Congress, who are famous for being paid off to serve special interests, bankers, central bankers, At this point, you have to realize that even if you try your very best and you're centralized and you're trying to operate within the confines of regulatory compliance, it just doesn't exist, because at least in the US, they are offering zero transparency, zero regulations, zero guidelines for you to operate within. Now, here's the thing that is really important to pay attention to, and that is the fact that any SEC lawsuit is not a criminal lawsuit. It's a civil case at that point. So no one's going to be arrested, but fines will be paid, and certain services will no longer be able to be made available if they settle or if they go to court and they lose the court case against the SEC. We saw that with Kraken. They went ahead and just settled really fast. Kraken paid $30 million, and now they can never offer staking services for US citizens here on out. There's part of me that's kind of cheering on for that, because centralized exchanges especially pose a pretty big centralized control type of threat to proof of stake blockchains, especially looking at Ethereum here. So for them to be out of the game is not necessarily the worst thing for that, but the fact that they settled, it means that they didn't fight this in court. They didn't set a new precedent that would prevent or be a discouragement for the SEC moving forward for anyone else that they would want to bring lawsuits against. So it'll be really interesting to see how Paxos fights this, if Coinbase is going to have a case brought against them, and also, of course, what's going to happen with Circle. Circle has a backing of BlackRock. Those guys are dirty. So the special interests are everywhere. So I'd really be interested to see if the SEC really goes after Circle and USDC. But before I get off topic here, you have to ask yourself, well, what's safe? If it's not BUSD, if it's not USDC, if you're also losing faith in Tether, what is safe? And in this point, you have to realize that stablecoins are a pretty big luxury, to the point where maybe you think less about price volatility and more about just longevity and survival of a cryptocurrency for the long term. That cryptocurrency might be different for everyone. In my opinion, I know which one I have the most faith in to be robust against regulations, whatever they try to put out, that will facilitate my ability to take self-custody over those coins and to use DEXs for that coin. But again, you're going to have to do your own research. If you want to know which coins we are most faith in, you're going to have to check out the CT Club down below. Also, if you're a subscriber to this channel, if you watch our live streams, you already know which coins we are have the most faith in. But I wonder, here's a good question. Do you know there will be a digital coin that will be absolutely regulatory compliant and government approved? Do you know which coin that will be? It's called the CBDC, a central bank digital currency, but they're probably not going to call it that. They're going to call it a government issued stablecoin. It's right from the source. It's from your friendly local government or, global government at this point. And of course they approve it because they created it. And of course they approve it because they control it. And of course they approve it because you can actually see what's happening, because again, national security, or it's just in their best interest not to let you know every single thing that's happening with the money that you are forced to have in your wallet. So for crypto, I mean, here's the silver lining. Are you guys ready? And I mentioned this in the past live stream, was Gary Gensler's efforts and the SEC's efforts to try and just really overreach and show their cards, for they're not really interested at all in offering any kind of regulatory framework for crypto to survive in the US without just being sued and have settlements into the hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. That's not really a reality. So for crypto to survive in the US, not in the US, for anyone to access as freely and autonomously as possible, it will become more decentralized. It will have to become more decentralized if it wants to be robust against regulations, because as we've learned, regulation compliance does not exist anymore. We got to wake up to that reality, and we have to understand that this is why crypto was created in the first place. So if you are a US citizen, I'm going to reiterate what I say in almost every single video. Consider this your daily reminder to take custody over your coins, get them off of a centralized exchange if you're not actively trading them, and into a wallet that you control so that you have a choice of where your crypto goes, and it's completely up to you. Furthermore, learn how to use a decentralized exchange so that you can make trades and purchase coins that you want to freely as possible. And with that, I'm going to have to end it by saying welcome to crypto and welcome to your daily reminder of why cryptocurrencies were created. If this isn't for you, fair enough. Make your lovely exit, and we'll see you back around when you decide that CBDCs just aren't for you and you want that freedom tool. Hopefully this channel will have given you at least a little bit of an introduction to get yourself going when you're ready. Anyway, we're going to keep putting out videos every single day. We certainly appreciate it if you hit the like button and hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.